Alright, everybody. Welcome back to Sky Factor 2.5. So I've been streaming on Twitch for like 2 days straight. I got a 9-hour day and an 11-hour day streaming. Thanks to the few people that came by and hung out with me. And by few, I actually mean like 5 people total. But anyway, I got a whole lot of work done. Let's see, we opened up like all of my Thaumcraft loot bags that I had stockpiled. I expanded all these potion shelves, so I've got potions everywhere from those. Got a little bit of space left on the top row here. I expanded the mob farm. There are now 2 layers, and they're being powered by the Tesseract power system. All the loot's going up here into this chest, which is now an ender chest. I have the matching chest of this one is in the end, not in the end, in the nether, at my nether mob farm. So anything that I get while I'm over there killing stuff, I can just drop in here and it gets sorted from there. And I've got a chunk loader running here, so that whenever I put stuff in the chest from over there, this will still be loaded and it'll come through. I'm just about ready to start combining loot bags. 9,600, so we'll do that soon. Have another grand opening of legendary loot bags. And I put caches in for these Thaumcraft bags over here. We've got 200 commons and 150 uncommons. So, gonna have to start opening those again soon also, when I get a few hundred each, because those are a lot more annoying to take care of. Other than all the potions, I got like tons of little pieces of armor, all kinds of little rings and necklaces and stuff that I'm probably never going to use, at least not in the near future. My mob farm now spawns bats, so I get bat heads in here, and a lot of them. It didn't used to, but I put the second level on there and now it does. And I've yet to see vintage beef in here. We've got Etho and Paws on pause, but not vintage beef. So I don't think he's actually on the list, but I haven't actually checked the list. Anyway, that's everything in this section. Oh, I took all of the portable tanks of mob essence that were like, they were stacked up underneath here. I just put them up here kind of for decoration. Expanded this platform back a couple of spaces to make room right in here for more caches of stuff. Let's move along. So over here I did some work on the smeltery. It's the same size, but instead of lava I'm using pyrotheum now. I have a blazing pyrotheum cow. It's being hit with the rancher. That's being powered by the solar panel. Got a backstock of a tank here. Ender IO fluid conduit into the smeltery tank. So pyrotheum is faster than lava because it's hotter. That's about the only reason, but it's harder to get a hold of. So with this setup I'm pretty much guaranteed to have it all the time. Otherwise, let's see, I took the hopper that was here, replaced it with a item duct and resonant servo, so items will go faster. And then I reworked the entire casting system here. It kind of looks like a steam tower or something. So the fluid, the molten metal coming out of the smeltery goes into this conduit into a casting basin. This is one of the ones that makes blocks. But before it has time to actually make a block, it gets pulled out by this pipe. And the second one here is set to in and out. So it'll try to put some in there. And then it also will take it out because there's another inventory. So it'll go here, rinse, repeat, there's another one, and then up here we get a couple of the tables with ingot casts in them. You can see them between the blocks here, right there. So the fluid basically makes its way all the way up this stack, and then all the way up at the top, this one is set to insert only. So if there's, say, 3 ingots worth of metal in here, it's not enough to make a block out of, so it makes its way all the way up and up and up and up, and it fills in 3 of these ingot casts. If there's like 7, it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other 3 will just kind of sit in these basins until there's space somewhere above that. If it's 9 or more, well, I guess like 13, 9 of it may make a block in one of these basins before it ever goes higher. But if there's like a whole ton of stuff in here, it'll fill up the ingots first, and then it'll start backlogging and filling up the blocks. So if I put a ton of metals in there, it'll cast ingots and blocks a lot faster than it was before, doing like 1 ingot at a time. And then when the items are cast, then these transfer nodes pull them all out and run it down back to the chest here. And I've got some aluminum in here. Let's put that away. Anyway, so that's that changed. Cobblestone generation thing. This lava tank is no longer here, the pair to this ender tank. The other ender tank that pairs with this one is now over in the power generation lava thing, and it's being constantly emptied because I'm using a lot of power over there. This storage area hasn't changed pretty much at all. I sorted these out. I think last episode I had the crafting station over there in that corner, but I moved it here to the middle of the room, or the area. It's not so much a room as just a space. Moved all these to the left against this side here, so then there's extra space here, and we can see all of the caches from pretty much where I stand all the time when I come over here, or from the crafting table. You can see everything. All the different metal types and gems and whatnot are all here. I'm gonna have to upgrade my glowstone cache and my nether quartz. Let's see, next thing on the list. The sheep despawned at some point a while ago. I don't know if I mentioned that. It was never named, so it despawned. I can get another one if I want to. There's these little food bait, like sheep bait and stuff. You can just put it down and one will spawn eventually. This entire setup here hasn't changed. All the cows are still here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're all still here. I made a secondary field to see if anything was spawned, and nothing in like 2 days. So I may be at the passive mob cap for this little area here. Alright, so power generation. I'm running 4 magmatic dynamos, all being fed by lava, which coming out of these 4 crucibles plus the one over there at the cobblestone generator. And that's all making its way here. So that is powering pretty much everything in the entire setup. I've got, let's see, we're up to 46,400 in stone, and almost 1,200 blocks of solid ender because it keeps running out of sand. But that's no big deal. I can always recycle that. Otherwise, this is all running exactly the same. I went ahead and built a big reactor last night on last night's stream. It didn't take too long. I mean, if you know how to build a smeltery, this is just about as complicated as a smeltery. You make a whole bunch of these casing blocks. These look different, but they're the exact same block. It just changes the texture of them whenever you put them together the right way. So you make a ton of these little casing blocks, like 1 controller, 1 access port, a power tap, which is behind this energy cell. That's where the power comes out of. And then at least 1 of these control rods and a fuel rod. So I made the smallest little 3x3 reactor and turned it on, tested it out. Then I upgraded it to a, was it 7x7? 5x5? Yeah, I'm going to go bigger. And this has 5 fuel rods, and under each of these, between them, is diamond blocks filling in the whole thing for cooling. And I have it filling 3 resonant energy cells, and there's a little bit of help from this solar panel 4 right there, just in case, because right now this is turned off. It's not producing power. Yeah, offline. Still got 80% of the fuel left in it. But all these energy cells are going into the Tesseract, so anything that this doesn't power, that one will, because they're both set to accept power and send it to all the other Tesseracts. So that's that. Oh, I upgraded some of the cabling underneath these to hardened flux duct instead of just the regular leadstone. And these actually connect now. In previous versions of this mod, the different levels of flux duct would not connect to each other, but now they do. So, surprised me. I was ready to replace the entire set. Let's see, what else? There's obviously this big glaring tower of stuff, but I'll get to that. This is where the Magical Crops farm was. It was a 5x5 field, and I had all the growth pulsers down to 40 layers. So I had all 40 layers of it underneath there, and it was running pretty quick. And I made a farming station, the Ender IO farming station. I've got it right here with my indestructible Matic in there. So that's just running non-stop, full tilt, the entire field. But it turns out the farming station does a 7x7. So I was wasting space over here in the 5x5. So I basically demolished the kitchen area because it was already a 7x7, replaced it with farmland, and I plan to set up the kitchen back over here. But at the moment, there's a ton of Certus quartz here because I just placed a lot of it. Like a whole lot of it. Like outside my render distance, kind of a lot of it. Let me see if you can actually, you can tell where it cuts off from where the sun shows up. Right about there. Yeah. So this is like a 5x5 by however tall that is pile of Certus quartz, and I'm about to vein mine it and then watch the whole game crash probably. But anyway, so the farming station does a 7x7, so I had to make more growth pulsers. If you do the math, a 5x5 area minus the one space in the middle for water is 24. So I had to make 24 growth pulsers for every layer. This one is a 7x7 minus the block in the middle, which is 48. So 7x7 is 49 minus the 1, 48. So it's exactly double the space, which means I was only halfway done with the growth pulsers. So I replaced all of them over here. I had 20 layers, and I've been making them, and now I'm down to 38 layers. And I just left it off for about 5 hours. I was AFK for about 5 hours, so I should have enough in there to finish this off. I also set up some jungle saplings with a planter and a harvester, but it doesn't look like they've done anything. No, absolutely nothing in 5 hours. So, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, that's no pressing issue. I was just messing around with them. Wow, the camera jumped like 180 degrees. Anywho, so the farm is over here now. Instead of that complicated mess of pipes and things I had underneath that, I've got it all organized and sorted. So everything coming out of the farm goes into this diamond chest. Half of it goes left, half of it goes right. The left half, holy cow. Talk about a lot of Minicio essence. So all the Minicio essence, Certus quartz, ferrous, nether quartz, and diamond go to this side and get crafted into blocks and ores and stuff, which are then put into caches. The other side is getting lapis, gas tears, the ghast essence, glowstone, obsidian, emerald, and yellowite, which I'm using to power the big reactor. So all that gets crafted into blocks and ores and things and put into caches on this side. So it's all nice and neat and organized. And at any point in time that I want to, I can just swap out any of the seeds with anything else and set up a new cache, or just exchange the one I've got with a different one. Anyway, so we've got some more quartz here. There's another like 5,900 quartz. Grab some more. Can I just take it right there? Yep. And there. And is that all of it? That's all of it. Alright. Let's go up here and see. There's where that layer stopped. Alright, and here's the top. And I put a torch up here earlier so mobs wouldn't spawn here while I was messing around. So the spawn point is 103 meters down. 104. So if this is a, well, it's like 5 by 7 by 104 almost. It's missing a little bit here and there, but that's a lot of quartz. Alright, let's knock this torch out. Get ready for a game crash. Oh, I'm gonna starve to death. And I can't see because of all the experience. Okay, I know that home base is right there. Should be safe if I just drop down. Oh my god. Alright, now the challenge is finding food while I can't see my inventory. Oh, the lag. This was a bad idea. Yeah, I can't see anything. Oh, I know. F5. Nah, the food chest is under stuff. Alright. Melons. Quick, give me the melons. Woo! Well, that's why I can't see anything. All the experience centers on your head. And why is there a dark space there? This should all be lit up. There. Look at all that experience, holy cow. It's everywhere. So here's an addition to the game that needs to happen. Increase the rate that your character can pick up experience orbs. Talk about game-breaking update, right? That would be really good. And I'm never going to need quartz again. I should probably go take the seeds out of the farm. Okay, let's look for more. There's a couple here. Still some back here. A little bit there. Some way back here in this farm. Oh, can't see. Some hiding behind this chest. All over this farm. Still stuck over there. Underneath everything, let's get over here. There's probably some way down there at the cloud layer too. I'm not even all the way done with the quartz. That was only like half of it. Okay. Are we good? There's probably a bunch way up on top still. Yep. And there's a spider up here. And there's a ton of quartz. Oh crap. Half a heart and a skeleton just shot me like 3 times. And the spider died of fall damage? Really? Okay. How about... Now that I can see what I'm doing... Where's the dolly? Get rid of that. Let's pick that chest up and put it there so I can actually open it. This is where all my food is. Let's get something good like epic bacon. Put that away for a second. There, that should top us off. Whew, man. So much quartz. Alright, let me go and toss all this in the AE system, ME system, whatever you want to call it, before the rest of that despawns up there. And we'll go take care of that skeleton also. Oh, that's going to come flying off there at me when I get up here. Or not? Where did it go? Maybe it already despawned, huh? Alright, round 2. Because I didn't learn my lesson the first time. Nope, got all of it. I'm not going to starve to death this time. Lag, 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 lag. Well, while I've got my inventory open, waiting for this thing to fill up, pick up all the experience, you'll notice on my character's head there's this little green thing, this little green round thing. That is a bauble called the Spectator from Botania. You hit shift, or you hold shift and it says equipable in the amulet slot, press B to open Bauble's menu. That's all the information you get. Well, guess what? This is the Bauble's menu. So, looked it up on a wiki. Here's basically everything that it does. If you have an item in your hand Any inventory nearby you that has that inventory will have a glowing particle effect on it to show you that there's more of that item in that inventory. It does the same thing for if a villager is trading that item. So if you have, like, I don't know, a book in your hand and you want to find a villager that trades books, then any of the villagers that have a book for trade will highlight for you. It also highlights items that are dropped on the ground that are the same as the one in your hand. I can demonstrate it as soon as the experience is finished here. Man. Yeah, it's everywhere. Straight up everywhere. Alright, let's go put these away, if I can manage it in third person before the others despawn. There we go. Close that. I keep hitting E to shut that interface. Whoa, alright. Stuck in a board. There we go. Okay, so if I say I'm going to hold a quartz in my hand, the other quartz on the ground there has that particle above it. And any quartz inventory, any inventory that has quartz in it will also glow like that. Except the AE system, it doesn't really count as an inventory for the same purposes. Okay, there we go. But casting tables will glow if you have the item in the casting table that you're holding, like a gold ingot or any of the casts that are on the table. They will glow. Anything in a crafting bench as well. There we go. For some reason there's quartz in that chest, according to, or on the ground maybe? It's on the ground, probably underneath the chest or something. Yeah. Yep, it's on the ground. That's what's going on. Let's see if I can just throw a bunch in here real quick. Get it before it despawns. Yeah, I think that was it. Okay, let's run all this stuff to storage. Never gonna need quartz again, and I've still got more ore. Not running out of space in there, that's for sure. Alright, and pick that stuff back up. That goes there. Oh, not that one. It goes there. Head back down to the AE system. Again. Put this stuff away. And then the mob farm to put away this other stuff. Bones, arrows, loot bags, and string. Okay. So that's most of everything that I've been doing for like 2 days. There are a couple other things that I've been doing. Oh yeah, by the way, So the farming station, let's get back over here. The farming station, you have to put a tool in it, and as the tool gets used, it takes durability damage. But if you have an unbreakable tool, like I have here, it'll just keep working forever because it has infinite durability. Well, another tool that has infinite durability is the Zavicio hoe that says you get 8 extra essence from Minicio crops. So you think, well, the farming station uses the tool to harvest Minicio. It should get 9 at a time instead of just 1. So you're like, alright, let's put it in there. You can't. You cannot put the Zavicio hoe into the tool slot for the farming station. That would be like super overpowered. But with all the growth pulsars down, it's pretty much fast enough anyway. In like 5 hours, I've gotten just as many stacks of Zavicio essence. So yeah, tons and tons and tons and tons of this stuff. Anyway, so I figure if I put that information out there, you guys might not have to spend all the resources trying it yourself. Let's see, so down here, next couple things. The farm from there is gone, so there's space here now. Not that I'm using it. This machinery got moved around a little bit. I made a second pulverizer with full upgrades. I've got 3 of the secondary output upgrades and 1 processing speed upgrade. And I took out the redstone control because it's always on anyway. I've got these all hooked up to item conduits from Ender.io. So I just throw stuff in a chest, it gets pulverized. I've got that on round robin mode. You can set that right here, as long as the colors are the same. These are both set to green. As you can see, the arrows are green. The export from the chest is set to round robin, so it looks for other green nodes and does 1 and 1. It splits them evenly, or as even as it can. Then all the items coming out of there go into this chest for pickup and further processing. These other things have been here for quite a long time, and this I made just kind of on a whim. This is a glacial precipitator. You give this thing water and power, and it makes either snowballs, snow blocks, or ice blocks. So I figured, hey, let's just make some ice, and then I forgot about it, and it's been here for like 2 days straight. So I've got almost 40,000 ice blocks and nothing to do with them. Let me check on the ender cake generator. There's 2 more. Oh, there's a good example. So end cakes. See the inventory there? The cache has a little bit of a like colored bubbly thing going on. Got 106 end cakes and counting. So the spectator item is good for I want to say like early game, if you have a lot of chests that have just random stuff thrown in them everywhere. It's really good for that. So you can actually find things in chests easily. I need a cache for this wheat flour, because I'm getting a lot of that. But for now, it can go with the rest of the random food stuff right there. Okay, so mess with the ME system. Also in the last few days, upgraded some cabling so I could add more stuff to the system. I've got a couple of dense cables on here now. I've got it working full auto with the ultimate furnace, and also with an induction smelter, which is getting power from this tesseract because the system wasn't powering it, so I figured I would just put a tesseract over here. It knows quite a few things with the Tesseract, alloys and stuff. It can make solar panels, electrical steel, pulsating iron, solarium, electrum, Invar, and hardened glass. So let's see, what kind of patterns do I have? Here's all of the patterns that I've taught this thing to autocraft. So farming stations, miscellaneous upgrades for stuff, the logic circuits, the circuits for AE, redstone reception coil, a couple of machine frames. Mostly it's just stuff I make a whole lot of. Growth pulsers, and it knows how to make the block so that it can actually make the pulsar. And then the ultimate furnace, it just knows how to cook stuff that it needs. That's about it. So let's see here. I've got 38, was it? Oh yeah, there's another floor down here now where this intermediate elevator block was. I just built a floor around it. This is where I'm setting up the RF tools machinery, and I'll talk about this more in probably the next episode. But I just want you to know that it's there. I'll get around to explaining a lot of that. And then down there is just the cloud layer that I was building. Nothing special. 38, so we need 2 more. So I need 96 growth pulsars to finish the entire farm. Alright, let's break down a stack of Zavisio. Let's go over there and do it. It's faster not in the AE system because it does all of them at once instead of one at a time. Oops, there we go. Actually, let's see. Growth pulsar, we need to make 96. Here's the total component cost. 384 stone, 96 diamonds. So I've got 24 Minicio blocks. It needs to craft 360 more. So it needs another 2,728 Minicio. I already have 512 in there. So it uses these to make the blocks. If I make the blocks myself, then it doesn't need to do that. It just skips that step. But I don't have them crafted, and I'm not going to, so it can do that on its own. It'll take slightly longer to do, but whatever, it's totally fine. I had the crafter over there, instead of making Zavisio, I had it making Minicio blocks, but that chest got full, like, really fast. The connected inventory of the crafter got really full really fast, so I decided just to do it this way. More or less because I leave it running while I'm not here. Alright. How's that? That's enough. Alright, so I'm going to hit start and then walk around over here and look at the crafting computer work. It's going to take another 40 seconds or so. So you can see it using the essence here, making the blocks. Whenever it blinks green, that means it's crafting it. So it's crafting all these blocks up real quick. Then whenever it gets 4 of those blocks, it uses a little bit of stone and a diamond to make the growth pulsar. It's making about 2 per second. Cool. So let's go ahead and take those out. And we're going to go down here. So there's layer 38, 39, 40. And we're done. So that's a 7 by 7 by 40 tower, minus the one space in the middle where the water block is, of course. I don't think it actually needs the water block there, but I left it anyway, just in case. So here is a 7 by 7 farm in action, if you want to look at the speeds. Pretty quick. It was already pretty quick, and now it's slightly more quick. Alright, let's dump this stuff back in there so it can be crafted down to save space. Alright. So I think that'll do it for this episode, getting you guys caught up on what I've been doing. Next episode I'll go into more detail on RF tools, and I've got a little bit of something planned in the Deep Dark. So we will do those things next episode. If you spot anything that I failed to mention that's up here, leave me a comment. Oh, here's one thing. Auto tool station. So you know whenever you're adding items to your like sword or whatever, like the 400 quartz I put into this cleaver, and you put like blocks in there, and then you have to put them in there and take the sword out and put it back and take it out and put it back. Well, this auto tool station, you just put the tool on the left and the item on the, well, tool on the right, item on the left, and it just automatically pumps them in there until it's full or it runs out of items. So really good time saver there. And it's easy to make. You just make a wooden tool station, like not the metal one but the wooden base one, and I think it's like a piston and some wool around it. So easy to make, very handy, time saver. I would recommend for repetitious tool additions and things. Anyway, so yeah, now I'm actually done. I will record another episode here in a minute to continue what I did in the last 2 days. And until then, you guys have a good day. I'll see you then.